Suits and Sliders. Welcome back, Suits and Sliders. How you doing, boardroom breezers? Oh my gosh. It's
Nice.
like L'Oreal.
Are you ready?
We are ready.
5 Minute Millionaires. Let's go.
We ready?
We're ready.
Welcome back. Episode number...
Trois.
It is.
That's 3.
It is. Trois. Un, deux, trois.
Yeah, cat's next.
Yeah. Meow. Anyway, today, Oliver, what is the topic at hand?
The topic at hand today is time management and productivity hacks, actually. We're talking so we've got you started. We've had the idea. The idea's been laid down. We've got the foundation. We've got the pen to the paper. That's the sediment.
Check.
I'm not much of a builder. And now we're talking about putting the pillars in the ground and letting the cement set. It's all about time.
What are we building? A mansion here or something?
We're building our futures. No, that's a bit cringe.
Yeah, we'll go future mansions. That's what we'll go for.
Future mansions. But yeah, today is about time management, productivity hacks, just a bit about how to balance work and life, allowing you to do what we promote, which is maintain your jobs, have your 9 to 5s if they're 9 to 5, shift patterns if they're shift patterns, but still have the functionality to start a business outside of that. It's not about quitting your jobs, running away, all in the risk, sort of high risk scenario. It's about having that, but also balancing that with enjoying life and making a business.
That is probably one of the hardest things to do.
Without a doubt.
I mean, balancing your life, whether it's with your family, your hobbies, your relationships, your work, your side hustle. There's a lot that goes on. And personally, it's something that I find really hard. Don't know about yourself.
For myself, I'm luckier in the sense that I do shift work. And for some, they'd be like, how on earth do you think that's luckier? Point being is because I can manage my shift work in a way where it's outside of the normal hours. A 9 to 5, for a lot of people, it takes up your day. I don't have those sorts of constraints. So I can wake up early, get work out the way in the morning typically, and then have the rest of the day to be quite functional with work.
Makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely tap into that a bit later on, how we kind of deal with our personal lives, even the struggles that we relate to, which I'm sure a lot of you can relate to as well. So yeah, other than that, let's get into our first segment because it's my turn.
It's Jamie's turn.
It is my turn, but you can do the theme tune for it.
Is it really worth it?
Unreal.
Oh, I had some nice melody
Unreal.
there. It did voice crack. I'm proud of that.
It did. Today, Oliver,
yes.
I have collected the finest of chocolatos out there for you to try. Which, you like chocolates, don't you?
I love chocolate.
You like chocolates. It'd be nice. Look at that. He gets me energy drinks. I get him chocolates. Right? I'm a lover.
I'll take it.
You'll take it. Anyway, we'll get you to try it out. Rank them. Best to worst. Kind of give a bit of a description to the viewers. What you're tasting. What flavours are popping in your mouth. Sure. All of that stuff. And then we'll crack into the business of it.
We'll rank them, and then we'll get into it.
The bigger boss out of all of the chocolate industry that we're looking at today.
The mighty boss. That's
exactly.
Understood. But before we jump into it, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Give us a little comment on your thoughts of all of this that's going on. We want to get better, not only for us, but for you guys at home.
100%.
And get over to that Patreon if you want to see a little bit more.
Links are all down below.
Yeah, Jamie takes his kit off. I'm joking, no, he doesn't. Most people just jumped over to that, by the way. Could do. Oh, you never know. Anyway, right, let's go into...
Guess you got to find out.
Let's get into Is It Really Worth It?
Sweet.
Woo!
So we are back. Is it really worth it?
Hello.
As mentioned earlier, my lovely selection of chocolates.
How delightfully placed.
I would like you to try each of them, rank them first to fifth.
To last. What we got on the...
so we have Cheeky Dairy Milk from Cadbury.
Staple.
Hotel Chocolato.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
It's like that L'Oreal thing we were saying.
L'Oreal. This is, if people know this chocolate, it's a little bit bougie.
It is. A bit of Eat and Mess. I love the pink.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get into it.
Do you like Eat and Mess?
I haven't had it in years, but actually I always used to love it as a dessert. When I was a kid. Bit meringue.
We got a Kit Kat. Give yourself a break. Hershey's. I actually don't know their slogan.
Americano.
And the famous or the infamous Feastables. I hear a lot about this. Never actually tried it.
Same here. Back on the influencer products. Yeah. Prime did well last time, so we'll see how they do.
They're punchy. So we're going to get into this. Let's try them out. Let us know what you think, and then we'll tell you about the coinage of all of these.
Ooh, so we got a bit of dairy milk caramel.
The classic.
This is just a classic, isn't it? Whenever you get to the petrol station on your way home, you're stopping in, you go, don't know what to get, and you just look at this and go,
it's a banker.
It's a bit of home.
It's a banker, isn't it? It's like a no-brainer.
It's a solid banker.
You're unsure.
Interesting, shape as well. Nobody else does this with the chocolate bars.
I quite like the curves.
I've only just really thought about
curves.
That. Anyway, so it's the solid chocolate. I don't even know what chocolate is. It's the solid chocolate. No caramel inside, but I'm actually more of a fan of the solids. So here we go.
I like the solids as well. Oh, crunch, crunch, crunch. Can you feel those curves in between your tongue?
No, they're gone now.
Okay.
I chewed quite quickly.
Here's a chewer.
It's just great.
Yeah?
It's solid.
Yeah?
Let me finish.
It is a very good brand. I mean, they do dominate the chocolate industry quite a bit.
100% sustainably sourced cocoa.
Cocoa.
and it's right. The classic creamy taste. It is very creamy.
Yeah?
You get the milk vibe.
So we like it.
We like it. So obviously it's starting at 1.
Number 1 start with. We'll see how we get on. Here we go.
However, it's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
It's rather large.
Eat a mess. I love the colours. I love the design of it all. And I love the fact that it's got actual fruit on top as well. A bit of dried strawberry.
Obviously, bear in mind, the rest are chocolate, like normal milk chocolate. This is going to be a bit of white chocolate.
That's a good point, actually. Well, we've got the cookies and cream. I think there's a bit of white chocolate in there.
True. Here's a bit of variation. I did go a bit rogue.
Solid size as well. I think it's got some little chocolate chips in the back as well. Look at that. Anyway, let's get a solid piece with some...
Bang. Oh, my God.
I'm causing a mess.
That has landed everywhere.
There we go. Right.
It is a mess. Eaten mess.
It's a mess. So smart. Here we go. Taste test.
Oh my God, that was a big crunch there. I don't know if that was your tooth. Don't laugh, just chew. That looks good. I'm going to try a bit after this.
There's a lot going on. Do you want that bit?
Go on, son.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, what are we thinking? Pop in. Different flavours.
Do you know what? It's almost...
Oh my God. Fuck.
Too much. But it's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. However, I don't really know. It's more like when I get a chocolate bar, I want a chocolate bar. When I get dessert, I want a dessert.
Mate.
Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's like eating a garden.
It's tough, isn't it? And it's solid, but
but it tastes like fruity.
There's a lot.
You got a bit of rose petals going on there.
I do like it. How much does this cost?
We'll get to that in the end.
We'll get that in a bit. Okay.
I don't want it to influence your scoring.
True. As far as a taste test, I will have to go above Cadbury because I'm a big strawberry fan.
It is very good.
But do you know what? There is sometimes too much going on. So anyway.
It's almost like I can do a little bit at one time. I won't be able to polish the whole thing off at one sitting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Like, it's almost too rich in a way.
Genuinely, I wouldn't be able to have another, I'd probably eat that and then I'd be done. But that's quite good, actually, because it means you probably go back for seconds at a later stage. Anyway, Kit Kat. Have a little bit more, eh?
Mate.
Breaks for good. Now,
I love a good Kit Kat.
Little debate before we eat this. Is it a chocolate or is it a biscuit? I don't know.
Has it got chocolate on it?
So do chocolate digestives, but they're a biscuit.
No, you didn't let me finish.
Sorry, apologies, carry on.
I want an answer. It does have chocolate on it, right?
It does.
And how much biscuit to chocolate ratio is it?
I'm sure there's more biscuit.
You reckon?
100%.
So kind of classes as a wafer.
A wafer, exactly, my friend. Here we go, ready?
But we're still calling it chocolate.
That was quite quiet, actually.
It's in the chocolate industry.
Would you like to share?
No. I've so much chocolate.
Right, Kit Kat. Here we go. Not much of a crunch.
No, but it
once you get
sounded
into
good.
It's nice.
The break sounded clean.
It is good.
Oh, I love a Kit Kat. I can't lie.
Do you know what? You do want more. I'm happy that I'm only 25% of the way in, but I'm just thinking it's too much of a biscuit. It's not. That's not.
Yeah, I mean, it's very controversial. Leave your comments down below. Is this actually a chocolate?
So I'm gonna have to go 3 for now, just because the other 2 tasted amazing. So yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Kit Kat fans.
okay. Here we go, son. Ooh. Hershey's.
Now Hershey's, I've been intrigued by because looking at, like, I love watching Mr. Beast videos. Hence why we got a bit of Feastables here today, I'm sure. However, he rinses Hershey's at every opportunity he gets.
Does not like them.
Doesn't like them. And
What's
I've
he
had
say?
the standard Hershey's before. This is the cookies and cream Hershey's, which I do like a bit of cookies and cream. So I feel like I'll like this more than the standard, but apparently he says that the Hershey's chocolate is just too, how do I say it? It's too, what's the word? Like, stodgy. Stodgy, do you know what I mean when I say stodgy? It's like too thick.
Okay. Like, almost too dense.
Yeah. Like, it's not soft chocolate. It's kind of like you just have to chew in it for ages. And it's a bit sickly. Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't be able to eat a whole bar and you'd feel quite sick afterwards. Whereas apparently you can get through a whole Feastables.
Although it doesn't look like dense. It doesn't look thick.
I'll tell you one thing. It smells amazing. Ooh, it smells phenomenal.
Smell test.
Right. Sniff. Right. I'll go for one little cheeky square. And to be fair, for them to put the name on every single bit, Kit Kat, one on the middle of the bar, every single square, Hershey, she did a good job. Here we go.
It's interesting, yeah. Good marketing.
Oh. I'm impressed.
Oh, he's very impressed.
That is really nice.
It's very big in America, isn't it?
It is, but it's really good. Do you know what?
Got to be honest with yourself, Ollie. You got to put it first if you think it's first.
When I saw it, I was like, nah, it's nowhere getting near first. But it's going there. It's going there, people. I'm blown away by it when it's going number 1.
Number 1. Shift him down.
Shifty.
Wow.
Hershey's, you're up there.
So now, is this like, are Feastables claiming they're better than Hershey's? Is this like their number 1 competitor from what you know?
Yeah, 100%. He does whatever he can to drag their name through the mud.
Bloody looked everywhere for these. I cannot find them. I never usually am able to find them in the big grocery stores, supermarkets, stuff like that. Pulled into a petrol station.
I like the design.
Found one of these bad boys. Never tried it in my life.
Petrol stations just have all the good stuff.
Random
I
stuff.
don't know why.
Well.
They really do. Mr. B, look at that.
Ooh.
A differing design. I like that. Like the 3 and then a big chunk.
Okay, so you get an option. Like,
I
might share a small one, have the big one for myself.
If somebody says, can I have a square? You go, yeah, there's a little square.
Yeah.
And then you have a square and you have a big old fat chunky square.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that.
Oh, it came apart quite nicely. But this is peanut butter. I am a fan of peanut butter, but I'm not crazed by it. You know, some people
it was the only option they had, to be fair.
Fair enough. But I'm liking the differing tastes.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll judge it on the chocolate though as well.
Go on.
Here we go.
Could be. What's a peanut butter brand out there actually? A little bit
Reese's
like
Pieces.
Snickers, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces came to me very much.
Yeah.
It's good.
Oh.
I have to go for a double.
Is the peanut butter overpowering?
Yeah.
It is.
Unfortunately so.
Yeah, that's the issue with Reese's Pieces as well, isn't it? They sometimes say that. Not enough chocolate. But he's gone for a second bite.
I'm so sorry to Mr. Beast. I think it's probably because I've gone for the peanut butter one. Well, that's one on the table. I'm going to have to go for position 2. It's really nice.
Basically, what you're saying is it tastes like arse. That might be the title. Mr. Beast, your chocolate is not better. Oh! It's actually... Oh my gosh, that is insane. It's Mr. Beast, your chocolate is not as good as Hershey's. Oh, that is what Oliver is saying.
I'll tell you.
Obviously, very different because it's cookies and cream, peanut butter and chocolate, so hard to judge. If your favourite is cookies and cream, that'll probably always win.
I think that did have a bit of a sway,
yeah.
And the white chocolate just complemented it really nicely.
Right. Since you put them in that order, what do you think price-wise? Let's start with individual price, and then we'll go to what the company's revenue is.
Okay.
So we'll start with Hershey's.
Hershey's, I reckon, because it's more of an American brand, I think you're probably having to put about £1.50 to get that cheeky little bar at least. They're not going to make it £1. They're going to make it a little bit more just to rip some people off.
Pretty much spot on. £1.99.
Fair.
Not bad.
Smart marketing technique, by the way. £1.99 is a hell of a lot better than £2. It's only 1 penny difference.
Yeah. I know. It actually influences a lot of people.
It influences a lot
Let's
of
go
people.
for Feastables then. What do we think that's coming in at?
Because it's so rare, I will say it's got to be more expensive. I'm going to say £3.50.
Interesting you say that. £2.35.
Interesting.
But because they're trying to compete with Hershey's, surely you would want to have a similar price point.
It's a really good point.
Moving on. Eton Mess. Hotel Chocolate.
Hotel Chocolat, they're going to rip people off, aren't they? I'm going to say...
They're known to be quite a bougie brand in the UK.
But it's not a big bar. I'm going to say... I'm going to pray. It's going to be $4.99. Just like smartly keep it under the £5 marker.
Actually not.
No?
£5.50. Random price, I know.
Weird price.
Weird price.
That is a really
like
weird
slap
price.
bang in the middle of £5. Don't know why.
Yeah.
But it is. That's quite expensive as
like,
well.
It's not like 2 for a tenner, it's 2 for
£5.50. Like you can get a good meal deal out of that. And pick up one of these chocolates along the way, most likely.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. But if you want to get something a little bit nicer for someone as a gift, it's a smart buy. It is a smart
It does look the piece.
It does. It really does. And taste the piece. Yeah. It is amazing.
Dairy milk. What are we going for?
Surely we're talking like £1, right in the slap bang middle.
Yeah, it's typical, isn't it?
Typical pound.
£1.99 is what you find it around for, really, isn't it?
I can respect it.
Kit Kat.
89p.
Also a quid.
Yeah, I should have thought that. Yeah.
I mean, obviously in some places they're cheaper. Depends where you find them.
And to be fair, thinking about that, it doesn't really have much change on where I'd place them. I think they're still, in terms of value for money.
Yeah.
I think the Feastables impresses me because of the fact that it is quite rare to find that it is that price. So I'd say maybe like swap those two over. But the others I can see being a credit and valued for their money.
Fair enough. So, makes sense. If we're looking at actual company in terms of their revenue, right?
Yeah.
How would you rank them? Highest to lowest.
Now again, duration that a company's been around for tends to have a lot of bearing over how well they perform because they get their analytics over time helps them perform better. I would say, should we start with Hershey's?
Sure.
Okay, Hershey's, I would say they've got to be making, I'm going to say 800 million a year.
Really? Interesting, right?
Go on, what are we working at?
11 million.
Really?
Yeah.
11?
That is what I found.
Wow.
Yeah.
That really surprises me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was shocked when I saw this. Didn't expect it at all.
Didn't expect that.
Don't know if that's like UK branch or something like that.
Maybe. But still, even if you would say
11
UK
million is what I found.
I would have said more than that.
That's what I found.
Jeez.
Yeah. Go on. What's your next one then?
So, I'd say in terms of I'd say Hotel Chocolat, I would have guessed would have come next. Actually, no, I would have said Cadbury's probably at the top. Anyway, we'll get to it in a sec. I'll come back to Feastables. Eat a mess. Hotel Chocolat.
Yes.
I'm saying too many words.
Yes.
Hotel Chocolat. Solid company, but I think that they're mainly UK based. So I'm going to say a little bit less. I'm going to say 300 mil.
200.
Fair.
4 million.
Fair.
I think they're quite big in some parts of Europe as well.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah, definitely like sort of French markets and things like that. But I don't think they're well established overseas. As far as I'm aware, I've not heard anybody else talk about them. So
Still big.
And to be fair, being a luxury brand in that space, it must be tough to have established themselves there. Because to come up in that space as a luxury brand that puts chocolate prices that high would be tough. But I'll tell you, some of their Easter eggs, we're getting into Easter time soon.
You had a look at these?
Incredible.
I
used to have one, yeah.
Like one of the Christmas wreath things.
Oh, yeah.
That they did.
Yeah.
Didn't like
Heavenly?
it, to be honest.
No,
because it's like they do weird stuff. Like
I don't like when people put
cocktail
alcohol.
chocolates.
Yeah.
And it's just like ruined it for me.
Yeah.
But that's not my taste, but some people might like it.
I get that. Let's go for, I think, I'll say who I think's storming at the top. Cadbury Dairy Milk. I think they've absolutely taken the game. I'm going to say they've got to be a £6 billion company.
No, you're actually not.
Am I way off?
You are way off. 378
million.
billion.
What?
I mean,
I think I was just too in the brain about Hershey's being so much smaller.
It.
That is incredible.
They dominate it, right?
Yeah, I used to love their marketing. Do you remember years ago when they had those adverts? They had one where like they had two people doing this with their eyebrows.
Do you remember the gorilla one?
The gorilla one.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, what a banger.
Hold on.
But like, this brand's been around for
I've been to their factory before,
while.
and it was such a cool experience going around.
Well, they also branch out into like hot chocolate, stuff like that. Like they
and
really have
so
covered
many.
everything.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I was way off with that, but to be fair, I thought they would have taken the top spot for sure. Let's go Kit Kat. I'd say Kit Kat's still got to be performing well. They've been around for so long, but they don't have, in my mind, a varying product range. So I would say they're a lot lower than the Cadbury. I would say 2 billion.
106 billion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have they got a lot of like other brands in ownership, do you think?
Not that I know of. I mean, it's under, is it Nestle or something like that?
Nestle, yeah.
So it falls under that.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, individually, Kit Kat itself, obviously not too sure. It wasn't like actual figures, but yeah.
I'm sure they do like really well though.
Yeah,
but still, quite impressive.
To be fair, that is a massive company they fall under.
Yeah. Now for Feastables. Now I think they've got to have pipped Hershey's at that 11 million marker in my mind.
Yeah.
But because they're so established in America and nowhere else, I'm going to say they're probably going to come under the threshold of Hotel Chocolat. I'm going to say Feastables are coming in at about 150 mil.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You'd be really surprised. Like, I've been really surprised with this.
Go on.
10 million.
Wow, they're still underneath.
Yeah. Still under Hershey's.
That really surprises me, especially with Prime being as big as it is.
Figures must be UK market because...
possibly.
To me, it didn't make sense when I searched it up. But yeah, so yeah, they have just fallen slightly shorter. But bear in mind, it hasn't been around for that long. No. It's doing pretty well. There we go.
Pretty much opposite order. I'm sure it's an absolute mess for you right now on camera. It's an absolute mess in front of us. But it was easy miss. So
definitely, mate.
Delightful. Thanks very much for that.
How'd you find that?
Yeah, good.
You enjoy the chocolatos?
A little bit of a taste on the sweet tooth. I appreciate it.
Nice, mate. Let's get cracking on.
Let's get back into it.
Bash.
Welcome back.
Hello.
I think I had a little voice break there. Hello again. That was Is It Really Worth It with us. Had a little bit of taste buds enthused. So I had to wash my mouth out with some water. It was almost too much.
I tried the Feastable behind the scenes. I actually liked it a lot. Yeah. But I do like a bit of peanut butter.
You are a peanut butter fan.
Yeah.
It's all about the protein. Protein! Right, well, we're back into the episode today talking about our topic, which is time management, productivity hacks, so on and so forth for an overall work-life balance. Jamie, before we get into it, I've just remembered, some of you at home may have already realised this, we haven't done our bloody tradition again at the start.
Listen, so, we still know it's a tradition. We just like to mix it up.
We like to surprise ourselves.
We started it at the beginning of the first episode and we ended with it on the second, middle for the third.
Exactly. Bash. Eventually we'll get it right.
Anyway, so as mentioned before, what were we? We were minus...
Well, we've lost £2 in the first episode and then we've lost £4 in the second episode.
So we're minus 6 pesos.
£6 So we've gone back for the pound ones this time because we can't keep losing £2 scratch cards. Right. I haven't even looked at this yet.
Right. Do you want me to go first?
Go first, bro. Go first.
Right. So 100k up for grabs.
100k.
Big cash moolah.
Big cash.
I got 50 top left.
Oh.
50 in the middle of the right.
No, you didn't.
Bottom right, 5.
Oh.
0.
Shit.
Nothing in the end.
Bugger.
Balls.
Yeah, I got nothing. Bang out of order. I'm fed up. We have to make money because this is getting out of hand.
£8.
Minus £8.
We're learning. We're improving. I think our luck will come eventually.
Surely. It's either got to come in the businesses or it's got to come in these scratch cards. So you guys get to stay tuned to watch which one happens first. Anyway, getting back into the topic for the day. I can't really... Do you know what the stats are? I wonder what the stats are of us losing. Anyway.
Well, we'll find out. When we spend 50 quid and get £1 back, it's not worth it, is it?
True. Can you imagine if we break even and then we're like, we can start again? Anyway, right. We're talking about work-life balance, time management, so on and so forth. Jay, what is work-life balance? Just give some stats, man.
What it means to me, right, is trying to live your social life, but also maintaining a good productivity level with your work and all of that stuff. So I also think it's really important to set your boundaries when it comes to work and when it comes to your social life, and almost being able to separate yourself. So once you finish work, close the laptop or get out of the office, whatever it may be, you're done. Yeah. No more work. I think that's what work-life balance really means. True. To me, anyway.
Yeah, to people out there, I mean, during COVID, I did an array of different jobs, and I always found the hardest jobs for me, and full respect to the people out there doing these jobs, the jobs you have to take home with you every day, like a state agency, recruitment, there's just jobs in those sorts of dynamics. I find, just really incredible that people can take these jobs home with them and keep grinding day after day after day.
Yeah, I mean...
for them to still have a work-life balance is just truthfully impressive.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I've got some stats here if you want to run. I'll run through them, mate.
Yeah.
And this is mental. This is like how much time people waste, right?
Okay.
Average employee apparently wastes 2 hours a day on non-work activities. This translates to 10 hours a week, 520 hours a year, which equates to 21 full days of lost productivity. That's some people's annual leave.
That is... So when they're at work, just you're talking about like scrolling through TikTok or like toilet breaks, whatever else.
Yeah,
sort of
lunch, coffee, smoke, all of that stuff. Like non-working activities. So even chit-chat by the water cooler or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
That's probably outside of breaks as well. That's probably like outside of their standard lunch breaks.
Well, no, this is just like you go up, maybe make a coffee. Still in the working hours.
Yeah.
And you might chat to someone or find someone on the way and just talk absolute dribble for about an hour. And
true.
All adds up, mate.
It sounds
anyway.
Like that's a day a week.
Yeah.
Might as well not go to work one day and just grind out while you're there.
Honestly. So here we've got 89% of employees admit to wasting time at work every day, with 31% admitting to wasting at least 30 minutes to an hour daily.
Jeez.
They're just doing nothing, basically.
I mean, it kind of makes me think of a point. I was reading this, reading into a guy called Tim Ferriss. And I mean, this has come from loads of different places, but he's just one of the sources that I've read about promoting a 4-day working week.
Yeah, it's huge.
Giving the presence of mind where people can literally have their brain switched on while they're there for that 8-hour shift, that 10-hour shift for 2 days or maybe 3 days, then have a day off, then maybe another day or 2 days, and then a weekend off. Yeah. To do it like that, I think would benefit people a lot more than having all this time where they need to switch off. Because that whole idea of Monday mentality, Tuesday chill out, Wednesday we're getting towards the weekend, Thursday almost there, Friday grind out, be stressed.
No, Thursday's like the new social day as well. So people go out, turn up hungover on like a Friday. You're not going to get any work done on Friday. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, like we'll tap into that a bit more because I think they're really interesting things to bring up.
Yeah.
Another one here we've got, which is just your normal person every day, right?
Sure.
Spends about 3 hours and 15 minutes on their phone daily. Adds up to nearly 50 days a year spent on a mobile device.
I mean, this is the mobile device generation though, isn't it? And I think that number's only going to get worse as time goes on. Don't get me wrong, they are incredible little tools, but I say to anybody, I really recommend if you had the chance to put it down for a day and switch off, you would feel incredible.
Exactly.
Every now and again, like I try and do it once a year where I get myself to a place which has got a place with no signal, like a little weekend trip or something like that.
Yeah.
Just because it's so relieving just to be somewhere where you're not on your phone all the time.
You know what? You saying that reminds me of something, right? We both have a mate, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
I'll mention his name, but we'll bleep it on the thing.
Yeah, sure.
What this guy does, right, when he feels like the world's getting on top of him, etc., he'll put his phone away, do not disturb, whatever, like literally chuck out the room. He'll walk into another room, it'll be pitch black, he'll sit on a stool, he'll play sad music, which is what he's told me, and proceed to just shave his hair off. And that's the way he resets his mind and comes out and goes, I'm rejuvenated, I feel me again.
It is mad,
it's
isn't
insane.
it?
But like, people probably do have that. Like, you need a reset button.
To have your own reset button is brilliant. But
that
is
is
a crazy
insane.
reset button.
I've not heard anything as crazy as that. For me, it'd be like a 30-minute nap or something like that, and I wake up, I'm feeling fresh again.
Yeah, to me, do you know what? I'm somebody who really advocates for music being like such a powerful thing.
Oh,
if you listen
huge,
to music, I'm such like if I need to be in a certain mood, I'll put on a certain kind of music. Yeah. And there's a few songs out there which are reset songs for me, and they literally hit the button.
Yeah. So you're just like, I'm going to play this when I'm feeling like this.
Exactly.
Sick.
100%.
Anyway, you got any other things to get into? Otherwise, we can tap back into that 4-day working week and stuff like that.
I mean, briefly, before we get into that, while we're talking about the statistics that are quite shocking of people needing to gain a bit more of a work-life balance, I've got some methods that people can put into practice at home as far as setting time aside. So, first of all, I'll hit you with scientific study technique. So this was called the Pomodoro technique. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
So the Pomodoro technique is somebody who I especially think this is valuable if you are going to start a business. When it comes to how you structure your working day or your working structure, to give yourself time where you have your head down and focused compared to the time where you let your brain digest. It's almost like you can't sprint for a marathon. You have to like use some time to pace, use some time to slow down and refuel, and then use some time to pace again. It works in the same technique. So the Pomodoro technique is for every 25 minutes approximately, you then take 5 minutes break. But for every 4 cycles of such, you then take a longer break, like a 15, 20-minute break.
Yeah.
And it's apparently so many people use this technique, and it really sorts them out. All you need is a little leg timer, and you're off.
Yeah, I know so many people that do this at work.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, for me, it doesn't work.
No?
I've tried it.
I don't use this either myself, but I just thought it was really interesting. A lot of people it works for, so if you want to try it yourself, do so.
These methods that we mentioned today, give them all a shot. Find what works best for you. Adapt them to your lifestyle as well. Like you have to follow it like for the 25th minute I stop.
Yeah, definitely. A second one, time blocking. I think a lot of people use this in layman's terms, but not so much being as specific to time block as strenuously as some say. Time blocking, as says on the tin, is dividing your day into separate blocks. So, for example, from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m., I will do this task and this task. There'll be like my priority A tasks. And then as the day goes on, if, for example, your priority tasks leak outside of that margin that you've given the time block, then you can allow it to feed into your second one. But giving yourself time blocks just keeps you more disciplined. Yeah. That's the trick.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is something I use daily.
Yeah.
Literally. I'll fill out my calendar with tasks that I want to get done, crack on with. Try have like a block, but obviously people can disturb me if needed.
Yeah.
But the whole point is I'm trying to focus on this particular thing at that time.
True.
Also, what I find that really helps, at the end of the week, I stick a little like a week roundup where I reflect on what I've done during the week and schedule in what I want to do for next week.
Well, that's perfect. That's my next.
I think that kind of ties into blocking out things. So you can also block out reflection parts of your day, which you can then look back, go, what did I do well? What do I need to crack on with tomorrow, etc., etc.
Yeah, pre-night planning and reflection.
Oh, massive.
That's what's here.
Massive.
Try to schedule in your following day or your following week. If you give yourself, and it really doesn't take long. For me personally, it's 5 minutes. It's what am I going to do tomorrow? As simple as just going, when am I going to wake up? What are the main things I need to get through? And also giving yourself a chance to go, this is when I go out and exercise and get some fresh air. This is when I'm going to eat some food. This is like a home admin thing I need to do. To pre-plan your day in any way at all is brilliant. If you wake up in the morning and you hit that snooze button and you're going, what am I going to do today? And you don't really think about what's important because you've just woken up. By the time you get to like midday, you realise, oh, there's so much I've got to do. Yeah. And then your day's behind you already. Yeah. So that's pre-night planning and reflection, as you said.
Huge.
And the last one, another technique sort of study that was done, is called the Eisenhower box. Now, I might have said that wrong. And I've got it here, actually, on the side. So the Eisenhower box, I'll just pick it up. This is a box where basically, I'm sure you can maybe see that on the camera, it's split into 4 quadrants. So the way the Eisenhower box works is you have urgency and you have importance. So the way that it works is you move your tasks into being of high urgency or low urgency and high importance or low importance. And point being is you work out what the high urgent and high importance tasks are, and that's what you do first.
Yeah.
And
have you heard of the saying, eat the frog?
Eat the frog?
Yeah, that's what everyone says. Eat the frog. Do the worst thing first, as in your worst task first, and your rest of the day will be brilliant. Because you've eaten the frog that is kind of like keeping you scared or worried of doing something. If you do all the like lovely tasks that you want to do, and then you have the frog at the end of the day, you're not going to want to do it at all.
So true. So have you got like, out of the ones that I've mentioned, or is there any other ones that you use personally, or?
I mean, I use a combination of that, right?
Yeah.
So I'll do my most urgent task first, so eat the frog. So I kind of use that method that you've just described. I also do the blocking, and I also do the reflecting. I mean, you could literally use all four as well.
Yeah,
so like
entirely.
you can use that 25-minute one with all of them combined. And like I said, it's about adapting and finding what works for you is the key bit.
Oh, I'm terrible when it comes to some like time blocking or pre-night planning. There are days when I really don't do it. One thing that I can say I do almost religiously when you've got all these tasks ahead of you is I do tend to pick which one's going to be the most boring, the most dull, and I do it first.
Smash it out.
I'm good at doing that because I'm definitely one of these individuals that when I do the fun tasks, the creativity, the making logos, the writing down what we're going to do for an episode, all that sort of stuff, I will take hours and I'll get carried away with it. I'll be so much fun.
I'm actually, you know what? I'm really interested to see how you, because I feel like we're quite different.
Yeah.
I'm very structure. So I like a structure. And if I like go away from that structure, I'll be pretty down at the end of the day. But that's something I need to work on as well.
Opposite.
Whereas I feel like with you have like, I don't know what your pick-me-ups are in a way. Is it the music thing that you touched upon? It's like you might be doing one task and then bang, hit music and you almost like switch to something else.
Kind of. Shiny bright ball syndrome. It's literally
right.
The second I'm thinking about something else, I move on to it. And also, as I'm doing it, if other ideas are coming into it,
Mate,
the idea grows and grows and grows. And I go to bed feeling like the ideas become so much more than what I started it. However, I quite like that.
You're what we call like a plant. What I've heard anyway is a plant. So you'll be someone who will go, oh, I've got this idea. I've got this idea. I've got this idea. And you have like 20 ideas at once. And you'll be like, I'll try to do all of them at once.
So in the comments, let us know if you're more like me or you're more like Jamie.
But like we mentioned as well in episode 2, it's about finding your partner that works.
It is.
We kind of work on 2 different levels, but it works so well because I can go to Ollie, oh, that's an amazing idea. Let's put that for tomorrow's agenda and right now focus on the other idea that you told me 2 minutes ago or something like that.
And at the same time, I can call you and have an idea and start rambling and waffling about what other ideas I'm coming up with. And you go, mate, like, go back to the first point. Like, that's what we've got to focus on right now.
But having someone like me as well, I can jot down all your ideas and go, these are brilliant ideas. Yeah. Let's hold them and retain them before you go and give me another 5 other ideas. That's amazing.
A really, really good point. It really is.
But key thing with all of this is not to burn out. And don't get to the stage like we mentioned with our mate where he's shaving his hair in a black room playing sad music. It's about making sure you're re-energizing yourself at all costs. Like, don't get to the stage where you feel like everything's on top of you and you can't do anything and you just literally want to push it all aside and do nothing because that doesn't help anything.
You're 100% right. Give yourself a chance to have a laugh. That's the thing. You've got to... Work-life balance is really interesting. A lot of people see it as time where they're like not enjoying their life and time where they are enjoying their life. You can end up enjoying your work. A lot of the time I find work to be something that's a really good structure to myself and it means that I enjoy it more. And then the life and the balance and the exercise and everything else comes outside of that is still just enjoyable. It's just times where my brain's focused and times where I can allow my brain to calm down, as we were talking about with that sprinting analogy.
Exactly. I mean, there's a couple of tips for you guys to try out. Try those methods. Comment down below if you have any other random methods similar to our mate that we spoke about earlier. It'd be really interesting to hear.
Definitely. Well, we'll crack on. Give yourself a chance to laugh. We're going to get into our next segment of the day. Hopefully this gives you a few more giggles. And it's an all-time favourite of ours we think we're going to establish.
I love this.
Do you know which one it is, Jamie?
I do. Workplace stories.
Workplace stories.
Unreal.
I won't give you the title of the segment. We'll get into it now. We'll show you all people what it's about. Let's get cracking.
Righty ho.
Righty ha.
Oliver.
Hello.
Let's lighten things up.
Let's.
Some workplace stories.
Oh, the fun one. Welcome back, people.
Do you want to inform the lovely people what the title for this workplace stories is?
And I'm sure a lot of you will hear this and have a story come to mind instantly. These are times that your supervisor / boss / manager went too far.
Way too far.
Way too far.
You know what I was thinking?
Go on.
We do need to give the people a name. Still.
Good point.
Please let us know what you want to be called.
Get in the comment
below.
sections. Let us know. Yeah, for sure.
For sure. I do have a few ideas.
You got some ideas?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, go on. We got the time. We got the time.
These are amazing.
I'm so intrigued. I've only got
two names. Two names.
Okay. You can let us know if you like one, guys.
Yeah, I'm going for something that's a bit like out there, but decent.
Sure.
But not too out there. And relatable to Suits and Sliders.
Okay.
You get me? You catch me drift. Boardroom breezes.
The boardroom breezes. I hate it.
Maybe not. Suit and Slide Nation.
Or she just took an S out of it.
And hers.
I think that was
Suit and Slide Nation.
I thought it was absolutely dog shit, mate.
At least someone's coming up with something.
There's a fair point.
Right. I'm chucking suggestions out there. Take them or leave them. Run with it. Make something else up. Bit of inspo.
But the second one's like Vape Nation.
Yeah, but it's just like Suits and Sliders. Welcome back, Suits and Sliders. How you doing, boardroom breezes? Anyway, moving on.
Moving on.
Righty-ho. I'll get into the first story. Here's a title.
I'm here.
The Employee Bonding Experience Gone Wrong. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is a cracker.
Go for it.
The supervisor decided that a team needed more bonding and scheduled a surprise team building event.
I see.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Which turned out to be a weekend camping trip. No one knew about it in advance, and it was in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
When the team arrived, they were told there would be activities.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Which quickly escalated into a full-on scavenger hunt for team unity.
Jeez.
The tasks included finding a hidden treasure.
Wow.
Which was a bottle of tequila.
That is good treasure. I respect it.
Tequila! Anyway, supervisor handed out leader titles, right? To anyone who could chug the most.
What? So it's turned into basically like a stag trip.
But it's like an award, right?
Okay.
So like you chugged the most, you took the most shots, you did this.
I see.
Pretty much a piss up, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's a good excuse.
It's like a rugby tour.
Things then got weird.
Okay. After too much tequila, everything gets weird.
And went way beyond fun. With some team members literally being forced to drink to build courage. Right? What? It all ended when the supervisors tried to organise a trust fall off a cliff.
No.
I think you get the picture, is what it says after that.
You are joking.
So, apparently, right, what happened is they went on this camping trip. The supervisor just like, we're getting massively pissed up and off our face. And you know, like the little, I'll catch you.
Yeah.
But like on the verge of a cliff.
That is ludicrous.
Mental. Sounds like initiations.
It does sound like an initiation. I wonder what kind of company it was.
I don't know. I actually didn't.
I'm thinking it's got to be like some sort of stockbrokers or something like that.
Some recruitment.
Some Wolf of Wall Street vibe, like mental
100%.
thing.
It obviously sounds like it's in America or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I've gone a different avenue. You've gone for the story. I've gone for a couple of text chats between supervisors and their staff where the supervisors have just taken it too far. So here we go. Oh, jeez. Do you know what? I would tell you the title, but I don't want to give it away. So we're just going to get into the text chat. So the supervisor messages good old Chris.
Chrissy boy.
Goes, Chris, where are you at? Which Chris responds with a question mark.
Where you at, fam?
Supervisor's back to him. You told Mark you could work a shift tonight.
Ooh.
Chris is like, no, I did not. I told Mark I couldn't work today. Why is Mark getting dragged into this?
Mark's always involved. There's always a Mark.
Supervisor's back at him immediately. You told him you couldn't work in the morning, but you could work normal hours.
Oh.
Chris goes, and this is where it gets a bit deep. Chris goes, as you know, I found out yesterday my dad had passed away. I'm going to get ahead and at least take one day as I get a week off to mourn his death. I am so sorry for any inconvenience this will cause you. Now, bless his heart, Chris. Like, that's, I think, a solid response given the scenario itself.
It's reasonable. It's reasonable.
This response blows my mind.
Oh, no.
The supervisor's back at him in the same minute. My uncle died a few weeks ago and I lost my grandma. Full stop. stop being a victim.
Basically said, stop being a pussy.
A day after his dad's passed away.
What are you doing, Chris?
So Chris, full respect to him, says, mail me my check, I quit, and go fuck yourself.
Nah, good. There's no point
Hats
working
off to
under
Chris.
someone
You
like
can't
that.
work under someone like that.
Once
that is
again,
just so
work-life
unreasonable.
balance. Where do you draw the line?
Mental. Absolutely mental.
That is insane. That is pretty crazy. All right, I've got one. The mandatory pajama day incident.
Okay.
Here we go. One of the supervisors took fun to the extreme by announcing a mandatory pajama day. Sounds pretty sick. For the office,
naked.
claiming it would boost morale. But this supervisor went full throttle, forcing everyone to wear what they called non-work appropriate pajamas to work.
Okay.
Confusing. Anyway, one poor employee showed up in a serious meeting to be told to go change because of their teddy bear print onesie.
Oh, that's mad. Do you know what? That reminds me of a real story I've had. True story. I unfortunately wasn't there the day this happened, but one of the jobs I did during COVID was at an estate agency.
Exclusive.
Amazing group of people. And they had one guy who, again, we'll bleep out his name. His name was the patrons, they've just heard it.
Right.
He's an absolute legend. A lot of time for him. Really hard-working kid. But it got to Halloween, and the whole office said they were going to wear Halloween costumes.
Was he new?
He was pretty new at the time, as far as I'm aware.
Classic.
And so they all say they're wearing Halloween costumes, and they went to the nth degree. They all bought masks and stuff, and were posting in the group chat of work, on the WhatsApp, all in their masks, saying that they're ready in costume at work. No. The worst bit, his mum dropped him at work, and so he didn't even have his own car at the time, and he gets dropped in this I think it was this ghost costume with spider webs on him and stuff. I'll have to try and find a picture. And he walks in, and the whole rest of the estate agency is wearing suits and smart estate agents outfits, and they are pissing themselves laughing.
So he's just there in a ghost costume for the whole day.
So I don't think that was too far. I think that was a top prank.
Top tip. Pack extra clothes, just be careful.
I just thought it was brilliant. So anyway, shout out to you, hats off. Do
you reckon you would have fallen for that?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Whenever they told me that, every single time they said Christmas dues or this and that, I was always second guessing. I was going up to the only person I trusted, you better tell me the truth right now.
I'll kill you. That's
right,
unreal.
I've got one for you now. The time the supervisor went to, here we go. Right, this one is just... This is such a backfire of all hell's worth, right? The new supervisor was trying to make a name for herself. As our manager had always said, for her to have more responsibility, she needed to be tougher with people who were once her colleagues. So she went into a bit of a tirade, always threatening people's jobs, until one day she called the manager out onto the office floor to make a statement. She announces very loudly to everybody in the office, "So," says the manager's name, "someone thought they could print 100 sheets of paper and just throw 90 of them away when they realised they should have only printed 10. This company is trying to improve its eco-friendliness, and seeing as that person is not only going to throw the paper in the wrong bin, but also not own up to it, we will stand here and wait until one of you admits to me and the manager who it was." Wait, it gets better. It gets better. And he goes, "As neither of us will want to continue working with someone so thoughtless and secretive." So she speaks on behalf of herself and the manager. After a few moments of silence, the manager says, "That was me by mistake." He proceeds to walk across the office floor, remove the paper from the bin, and put it in the recycling. Peak. Shortly after, the supervisor was called into his office, and she's toned it down ever since. I thought
That's
it was
unreal.
So funny.
Because everyone there's wasn't me.
They're all looking at each other.
Manager's
she goes on this tirade, and she's called him out into the office as well.
That's brilliant. All because the manager's gone, he needs to be a bit tougher.
And so the manager stood there and he was like, "That was me by mistake."
That's brilliant. Kind of similar, on the kind of same train, right?
Yeah.
The overly personal feedback breakdown. In one company, right? Mm-hmm. The supervisor got so comfortable that they decided it was time to give personalised feedback.
Sure.
In a form of a group therapy style session.
Okay.
They called it Monday Mindshare. Sounds nice. Sounds cute.
It does. It sounds well cute.
What started off as work feedback quickly turned into inappropriate deep dive into employees' personal lives.
Jeez.
So you've seen that TikTok? It's like, we listen but we don't judge.
Yeah.
Kind of along
We'll have that on our
line,
TikTok.
right?
Go check it out.
One team member was even told by the supervisor, "You seem really tense. Is it because you're single? You should try therapy and also date someone in the office for synergy."
No. He's definitely just trying to make his own way in there.
After that, the boss started suggesting personal life improvements, like making sure to wear something sexier to improve client relationships.
Oh, that's so far. That is so far beyond the line.
You could just imagine, right? Rocking up Monday morning.
Yeah.
Right, guys, therapy session here. Let's just go around the room.
Why are they American all of a sudden?
One guy's like,
American.
"I think you need to shag a bit more, mate. Are you single?" Other guy's like, boss like, "Yeah, you should wear sexier clothes, girl."
Needs to get laid.
What?
So out of order.
You can just tell that goes so left as well.
100%.
Oh my god, that's brilliant.
All right, I got a last one for us
Go
here. Another text chat for you people. So, in from the boss or the supervisor. "I need you to come in from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. today. We have an event scheduled and only one bartender." To be fair, on the day, and bear in mind, this message was sent.
Already.
This message was sent at 2:59 a.m. on the day.
Oh my god.
Out of order. So anyway, he responds, "No, thank you. Tomorrow's my day off." Supervisor's back at him. "You need to be a team player. Isn't all about you. Please come in tomorrow." The guy's back at him. "Why are you telling me this now at 3 a.m. that I need to work at 11 a.m. today in 7 hours' time?
That's crazy.
I've had a few drinks and I don't feel like coming into work hungover and working for that long on my day off." Because I mean, yeah, it's like a 12-hour shift almost. Anyway, and he comes back. "You need to stay ready for work. Getting too drunk is not a good look.
Ready for work?
Getting too drunk is not a good look work. And you must stay prepared. Sometimes things happen and we need cover."
Is he like some firefighter or policeman or something?
This is it. You're telling that to the bartender you want to employ that he can't drink on his day off.
Stay ready for work.
To get back into it. Dude, if you'd have given me more
Superman.
notice, I would have considered it and not had so many drinks, so I wouldn't have been that hungover. But you've waited till 3 a.m. It's not happening.
Valid.
And he goes, "Don't you even know how to bartend? Even if we don't, you literally have flashcards for each drink on the menu. Just use it yourself." The guy goes, "We're going to talk about this attitude when you come in on Sunday." And the guy goes, "No, we're not. Bartenders are needed all over the place now. I think we'll just go and work at one of the dozens of places hiring here. I'm fed up with you." Anyway, the guy goes then on the defensive. Sorry, not the defensive. He goes on the recall. He's like, "Oh no, please give me a call. Don't make such an impulsive decision." Anyway, gets no response. "You're making a mistake because you're drunk and you think it's a good idea. When you wake up tomorrow, you're going to regret this." And the guy beautifully responded, "Eat, full stop, my, full stop, ass."
I'm sure, right? A lot of people can relate to that.
100%.
Getting a text at stupid o'clock, being like, "Can you come in tomorrow? Someone's pulled out," or something like that.
So unreasonable.
Go home.
Exactly.
I'm not doing that.
If you run your own business, you don't get messed around by the boss because you are the bloody boss.
Yeah, like,
So-
I mean, fair play to those people who have texted back and going, "Shove up your ass."
Oh,
mate.
exactly.
I'm not
I just
doing
wouldn't
that.
respond.
You know,
but
but don't need to bend over for minimum wage or whatever it may be. Like, it's
you
ridiculous.
don't need to bend over for anyone. Like some people go on a bit of a power rage whenever they get a supervisor or managerial title, and it's just people needing some sort of god complex about themselves satisfied. Anyhow,
ridiculous.
That was
they were some good little stories there. I quite enjoyed that.
There's some cracking ones in there.
That was nice.
Guess we'll get back into it, mate. Yeah,
man. Let's crack on with the show.
Let's crack on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is it food? It's food.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's fucking weird. Welcome back, guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Do it. Oh my gosh. It's
Nice.
like L'Oreal. You're throwing me up my floor. Anyway, there were some brilliant little stories there. Please comment down below. Let us know if you've got any funny stories like those.
Do so.
Because we would love to hear them.
The more the merrier.
Exactly. And we may help you, I reckon.
Oh yeah.
So we can go, "I would have done this," or "I would have done that." Give you a bit of tips.
Sure. And if we're going to have to do some like Hall of Famers stories in the future at some point. If any of you come out with a Hall of Fame, we'll give you a little prize of some sort, I'm sure, in the future.
Great shout.
So
Great
come at us
shout.
with a couple of like big old stories and you'll be in with a chance of winning something.
100%. Anyway, let's get into the discussion number 2.
Anyhow, yeah.
So let's talk about a bit of some tools, bit of time optimization, scheduling, planning. You got anything along those lines that you want to suggest?
Yeah, we're in the world now where year on year, more tools and apps and all sorts of other things are coming out and about which can optimize a person's ability to create a business.
I mean, AI is taking over, isn't it?
That's a massive point to be made. AI is basically spearheading the way for being able to form a business.
Man, I can't wait to get my own little robot wandering around.
That would be well cool, wouldn't it?
Entertaining. I'll be like, can I have a drink? Cheers, mate.
But in the time where all this sort of stuff's going on, we're here to say that there are things cropping up year on year which you can use, and it can mean that you don't have to go down the avenue of having to learn something in order to put it into practice. There's been a lot of stuff that we've had to do over the last year which we've had to learn about in order to then put it into play, whereas there are ways you go around this. You don't always have to learn everything, but if you kind of understand the gist of it, it's still important. So as you mentioned, Jay, there's a couple of tools that I've got just to kick us off.
Go on.
One thing that I guarantee very few people, including myself out there, are going to know about is the legal and admin side of making a business. We're talking about things from investment forms to signing contracts to shareholder rights, all of that sort of stuff, and understanding certain things that come under illegal documentation. I mean, who's going to know that off the top of their head?
A lawyer.
It's not even something logical. A lawyer, obviously.
But you got to get a degree.
You got to get a degree, and also lawyers are spenny. So spenny. So anyway, I've been looking at a couple of groups out there that offer support in that. So anyway, Rocket Lawyer website. You can sign up for a 7-day free trial. That's what I initially did. But they also, if you choose to stay on with them for a monthly subscription, there's real lawyers that will give you legal advice as far as your contracts develop. And it's got templates for every bit of admin and legal sourcing information.
So is it application, website?
It's a website. So go on the website. Nice. I think they've also got an app as well. But their website gives you all the documents you need in terms of understanding what it is. What I would recommend doing is going on there, going to the format template, and it will tell you to fill in the points that are of reference. And then from there, you can read it and just make sure that all the sort of subheading stuff is to your liking.
I mean, also what's brilliant with that is you could create that document, and if you actually want to be extra safe, you can then go send it to a lawyer. He can look at it.
Well, on
but
the website, you can do that.
fees are going to be so reduced, aren't they?
Massively reduced.
Because you've already got the document. They don't have to do all of that stuff.
100%. So that is a great company. And
good shout. I've not heard of that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
So yeah, you got something?
It's a good one. I've not heard of that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got an application.
Go on.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many people actually don't use it. Yeah, ChatGPT.
I'm mad. If you're out there not using ChatGPT yet, you switch on.
At work, right? This was probably last year. So bear in mind, ChatGPT is pretty prevalent by then. A lot of people know about it.
Yeah.
80% of people at my work never used it, don't want to use it, don't like it. Yeah. 80%.
That's mad.
Yeah, huge. Massive.
I mean,
and you can imagine.
It kind of makes sense.
It does, but you can imagine what that is scaled across the globe. Yeah. It's insane. And ChatGPT is extremely powerful. You've got the likes of also Copilot out there now, does a very similar job. It can essentially help you with brainstorming a couple ideas, drafting some documents potentially as well. Even if you want productivity support, it can literally schedule out things for you and help you understand new ways of working, etc., etc. Really, really good tool to use, just for quick little tips, advice, maybe a bit of inspiration as well to get your mind working.
I'm almost using it more than like Siri and like those sorts of tools and stuff like that. A lot of the time I'm using ChatGPT instead.
Well, you're seeing now like people embedding AI programs into apps. So you've got the likes of X has Grok or something like that. You've got Apple, the new one. They have a new AI coming in. Yeah. You also got Samsung, which has one, and then Google have one. Like, everyone's getting one because they realise how good these things are.
It reduces your sort of research time huge. Massively.
Obviously, be careful because they can produce the wrong things. But that's where you do your due diligence. You check up on a few things, but it saves you a heck of time, like researching and finding everything you need to know.
Without doubt. I've got another little one. So this is more when you're starting a business. If you want to go down the route of e-commerce, which a lot of businesses now are going down, because online sales is basically the forefront of everything. I mean, high street shops are closing on a daily basis. So as for creating your shop as e-commerce, I've got a few different options here. So first of all, talk about the big one, Shopify. A lot of people know about it. If you haven't seen it on some sort of YouTube advert of sorts, then I don't know where you've been. But Shopify is your standard e-commerce platform. It offers you everything you need from an e-commerce platform in terms of creating the website all the way through to automating sales, having invoice responses, so on and so forth. The drawback from Shopify itself, it does have a larger pricing than others. So do look into what you're actually needing to get out of it, because Shopify might be offering you things that you don't really need.
Definitely.
Second one, Wix. Again, this is probably the best one for beginners. This is the one that has very obvious functionality in terms of it's very drag WIX.
Oh, it's not like Wix, the local
store.
Not
like hardware store. No.
Why is he mentioning that?
It's very good for beginners, but it doesn't have as much control functionality once you get into having the website live. But it's really good for setting up and having a good concept idea of what to create.
Even just gaining a little bit of an understanding how things work. Yeah, perfect.
To make little concepts, like early doors when you're going to investors, things like that, to make these little website designs is really crucial to give people a good sense of what visually you're going to have your website look like eventually.
A lot of investors like to see a visual. I mean, they find it quite hard sometimes to picture the idea. And so it's almost easier to show them if you can.
Definitely. Outside of that, instead of going down the route of e-commerce, if you were looking at a business that didn't necessarily have a sales element to it, it's more a service or a business that just wanted to have a website format, WordPress is excellent. WordPress is probably the biggest in terms of like non-salesy like website creation and stuff. But yes, for much larger companies as well. All the big companies, Samsung, for example, as you mentioned earlier, use WordPress, and it's got just an unbelievable amount of things that you could do in it. And then finally, one that we're using ourselves, a few guys out there, just so you know what we've gone for, is Squarespace. So as time goes on, we can tell you a bit more about the whole platform 100%. And what we're doing on there. However, it's got great, easy-to-use features. It's got lower fees than your Shopify and things out there, but offers the same functionality, in our opinion, for what we want to utilize it for. And again, it's just very straightforward.
It does
talks you through everything.
A lot of in-house stuff. So you almost have to literally just do nothing. It does a lot of email marketing. It actually generates where your users are coming from. Does a lot of AI integrated software within the actual application itself, which is brilliant.
True.
And I think following on from that, we've got the websites, all of that stuff is brilliant. You also need to think about your social media. And one thing we have alluded to and touched upon is Canva. Canva now is brilliant. You can have it a free account, which basically lets you use pretty much everything. But there's obviously a few restrictions. But if you pay for the pro version, you can get everything. And that will help you create whatever you need, whether it's a PowerPoint for educational purposes or even pitching purposes or client presentation, whatever it may be. If you want social media, Instagram posts, it can do that for you. Even Facebook, Twitter, Etsy, whatever you're looking at. It's amazing. Honestly, really do like it. Really recommend it.
So think about this. Like when you really break all this down, once you've got your idea, you go to ChatGPT to help you do market research and analysis. Go over to Canva to make your logo designs and your pitch deck. Then go over to Squarespace to set up your website. Then once you've got it all together and you're bringing on investors and you're going towards making customer contracts and stuff and legal docs, you go over to Rocket Lawyer. Like there you are. There's a lot of the business stuff automated for you. You've barely lifted a finger.
And I think something that is huge is people say, oh, I wish I lived in this generation. I could have bought X stock or I would have been able to afford a house, etc., etc. We're currently living in an AI-generated world where we can pretty much do whatever you want. Utilize this little time frame we're in.
Get ahead of the market.
Because this is the boom, if literally.
It certainly is. Speaking on outside of the productivity tools and things that we've mentioned, to give you a couple of things where we've gained our own education, our own inspiration from in those fields, both from reading and from social media influencers, you've said. A book that I've read recently that I think is phenomenal in understanding habitually how to behave in terms of these productivity hacks is a book named Atomic Habits. Have you ever? I'm sure you probably heard of it.
I've heard of it, yeah. It's
a fantastic book. It's there's an audio book out there as well of it if you rather listen. Like, I always listen to it when I'm at the gym on the running machine or something like that. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. A couple of its main sort of tenets in the book: the power of small habits. This is the concept where it's if you improve yourself by 1% every day, after a year you're 37 times better. If you think about it in that way, those margins become much more achievable. So that's one of its main tenets. Another one...
It's the little and often, isn't it? It is a huge thing.
Consistency. That's really where it comes into play. Secondly, focusing on your systems rather than your goals. Point being that there's this old phrase outside of the book Atomic Habits that says you rise to the limits of your goals, but you fall to the benefits of your systems. Basically, if you focus on the systems and you get them right, that will always be your lower margin. That will always be your base level. You'll only ever do better than that. Once you've got those systems in place, your sort of time management, your effectiveness will optimize really,
essentially
really quickly.
Your pillars, isn't it?
It is.
What you lean back on, yeah.
And then finally, the 4 laws of behavior change, which it talks about quite heavily, is if you've got... So, for example, a few years ago, much like a lot of guys, and I'm still not outside of this entirely, you'd be a bit lethargic, you'd want to chill out a lot, you'd want to scroll on your phone quite a bit, you wouldn't want to go to the gym, you press the snooze button, all of this sort of stuff. It's behavior. And so to get yourself out of behavior, it's about making it initially obvious. So you want to highlight what the issue is that you want to change, then make it attractive in terms of changing that behavior, knowing that a business gets born from the idea of me working a lot harder. Make it easy. Give yourself a structure where you go, okay, this is what I'll do today, this is what I'll do tomorrow, which you know you can do. You're not saying, okay, tomorrow I'm going to go out and run a marathon if you've never run a marathon before. Yeah. You say, I'm going to go out and run 5K, then 10K, 15K, so on and so forth. And then finally, make it satisfying. Give yourself appreciation when you hit these milestones and understand and record that data so that you can see that change happen over time.
Yeah, they're huge things. I think they seem so obvious to probably the likes of you and us, but people don't do it
entirely,
and they're little things that you can add in. I think following on from that book, a similar book as well, which I think is a brilliant read if you have already read Atomic Habits, is Chimp Paradox. This was written by Steve Peters. It's a phenomenal book. It's more about the psychology of the human brain, and it looks at that kind of behavior side as a chimp and also the human side, and it's about being able to not let the chimp overtake the human. I think read it, understand it. It gives a brilliant kind of concept where you can relate to it through the likes of associating yourself as a chimp and a human, essentially. And it is a brilliant book. But following on from what it kind of touches in terms of a productivity side of things, it basically allows you to control the emotional and rational thinking. So your time management, you have better decision making, etc., etc. And it really hones in on that. So there's brilliant chapters out there, so definitely give it a read. In terms of other things that it gives you is about how to basically plan during really stressed environments. So when you feel like the world's all on top of you at once and you don't know where to start because you're looking left, right and centre and it's just task, or a mess or whatever it may be, it basically helps you structure your schedules so you prevent last minute chaos and stress, which basically makes you overwhelmed and then you end up just wanting to do nothing.
Fair enough.
Brilliant book. Go check it out.
And if you've got any books yourselves, let us know the books to read. Let us know where you're getting your data from as far as both influence out there, books that you're reading, so on and so forth. I've already mentioned Tim Ferriss, and we'll talk more about his concept of 4-day working week in the future. But also, before we get to that in the future, do let us know your initial thoughts on that so that we can use your own comments when we come back to talk about that in a later
100%,
episode.
100%.
Anyway, moving on.
Go on.
I think it's time to get into our next little segment. Yeah. And this one's related specifically to the topic of the day, and it's a brand new one for you.
Exciting.
Are you ready for 5 Minute Millionaires? Let's go! Welcome to 5 Minute Millionaires. Now, I know what you're thinking. How the hell can you be a millionaire in 5 minutes? Well, you can't, to be truly honest. But this is where we have a little game against each other where we pick a task or a topic or an industry or a product, and we get given 5 minutes to try and come up with a millionaire idea for the product, industry, so on and so forth. We get to use any tools that are to our access. That includes ChatGPT, all the productivity things we mentioned earlier today, so on and so forth. And then we're going to pitch the idea to one another, to you people at home. And we want you at home to judge who's got the better idea.
Which one would you buy?
Which one would you go for?
Yeah.
So, Jamie.
Yes.
5 Minute Millionaires. What's today's industry going to be?
Well, we're looking at productivity, obviously.
We are.
So, a potential tool, a potential product, something you can use that will help you be more productive.
So, are you ready?
We are ready.
5 Minute Millionaires. Let's go.
5 minutes later.
Oh, we're close. Close. I think it's about here. Right. We're coming back into... Are you ready?
Time is up.
Time is up. You ready, yeah?
Yeah, I'm done, mate. I'm done.
All right, show off.
I'm
It's not
ready,
called 4.5 Minute Millionaires, is it? Right, we're back. That's been 5 minutes. Timer is up. So, have you got an idea, Jamie?
I've got mine written down here.
I've got mine
I
here.
see
So
you're ready to go. Do you want to crack on?
We've both got our titles on here, so I'm going to kick us off.
Go on.
Ready?
I'm intrigued to see what you have come up with, my friend.
I'll give you the good old pitch. So, Echo Key. Capturing ideas instantly and organise efficiently. Have you ever had a brilliant idea only to forget it moments later? Echo Key is your in-pocket sized AI-powered dictaphone keychain that ensures no thought goes unrecorded. With one-touch voice capture, it instantly transcribes, categorises and enhances your notes in the Echo Key app, giving them structure, smart titles and even resource suggestions. Whether you're brainstorming, multitasking or on the move, Echo Key turns your spontaneous thoughts into actionable insights so you can focus on creating and remembering. Press, speak, elevate your ideas with Echo Key. Boom!
I like it.
That was
I
good,
like
eh?
it. That was nice.
I'm happy with that.
That was nice. So is it kind of like an AirTag size, is what I'm thinking?
So that's exactly it. So your own little dictaphone. The amount of times I'm out and about having ideas, or like I'm speaking to somebody and they come up with a good idea. If I had on my keychain a mini dictaphone, pressed it, said, this is dictaphone 0.1 on Echo Key. Somebody spoke into it, I spoke into it, and then the Echo Key AI-powered app transcribes all your notes down for you so that when you review it later in the day, it goes Echo Key reminder in your notes page.
So how do you transfer the data out of it, though?
What do you mean out of it?
Well, I'm guessing you've got it all stored in here. How do you get it onto your...
It's a signal, mate. You press a little button, sends off a little signal. AI can do that sort of stuff.
And aliens come. Nice. I like it. No, that's good.
Cool,
that's a good idea.
Productivity on hand.
I mean, there's plenty of times where I've like wandered around and gone, just got a random idea in my head.
Yeah.
And I go home, I drive home. And
get yourself an Echo Key.
No, it's a good idea. I like that. There you go. I mean, people can copyright that now. But never know.
You lot at home are more than welcome. We're not doing these ideas. This is just a little fun game for us. So if you like the idea a lot and you've got the genius behind it, crack on.
Here we go, son. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you sure?
I think I am.
Here we go. Imagine a mirror that doesn't just show your reflection. That's hard. I know you're tingling right now. Here we go, my friend. Meet Mirror Mind.
That's a good name. Mirror Mind.
You like that?
I like it.
You like that a lot. I don't know where to put it. Like yours.
I'll hold it.
You can hold it for me. Thank you. My
there
glamorous assistant. Right. This mood detecting mirror analyzes your facial expressions and knows when you're stressed out, tired, or absolutely crushing it.
Wowza.
If you're looking frazzled, it might go, hey, maybe it's time for a break before you start emailing someone in all capital letters.
That's a good point.
Feeling down? How about a motivational quote?
On the mirror.
Or your favourite hype song. And because it's not just about feelings, it's about focus too. This is what we're getting into, right? The mirror helps manage your schedules, nudging you when to block out deep work. Or it can even give you reminders of when your call's coming up. When you are locked in and productive, it backs off, it lets you thrive. It knows you're doing well. Why interrupt something that's going well? Do you know what I mean? Over time, it will track your mood patterns. It will figure out when you're kind of peaking, when you're starting to trail off a little bit, give you gentle reminders, give you some music boost, just like you like.
I love a bit of music.
And it would also give you an extra coffee if you need one.
An extra coffee?
Yeah, mate. This is what AI does these days.
It's got a coffee machine in the mirror.
It'll just go, boop, start connecting to your AI, make your coffee. You go walk over,
it's like
have a little coffee. Yeah, it's
like
all around. You get me? So, it's not only your well-being coach, productivity partner, it may be your new MVP work from home.
Wow.
I like it, mate.
I mean,
you know what?
It's a good idea. It is a very good idea. However, I do have a little question for you.
Son.
Facial recognition, tracking, all of this sort of stuff, recognizing stuff.
Scary.
Exactamundo.
Scary.
People say how Alexa's listening to them. I don't want somebody, like, let's say it's in my bedroom, you know, I don't want nothing recognising what's going on behind
Well, you
that
know
mirror.
what? Fair play. Don't stick it in your bedroom. That would be my thing to say. But if you go to shops nowadays, stuff like that, this is something they're trying to introduce.
Yeah.
You walk up, it's almost like a window, but it's a mirror. You go, I want to try this clothes on, this one on, this one on.
True.
You stand there, and it'll tell you what your sizing is, everything like that.
And
This is actually where stores are going to, because they want to bring back the in high street stores, right? Yeah. What's the best way to do it? Have AI assistant.
You're entirely right. And at the same time, these new AI robots that Muskie and all that lot are generating, they can recognise facial expressions as well. If you look sad, they're like, why are you sad?
Yeah.
And they talk to you like that. So, I mean, the technology's there. I think the coffee machine idea is a bit of a stretch.
Bit rogue. You know what? I just really like coffee. And like, technically, if you've got Alexa, you've got everything like connected up, why can't it? You can go, Alexa, turn this light down. Mm-hmm. Why can't the mirror go, this coffee?
I'm thinking getting into bed, be like, it's bedtime, mirror on the wall, and it sets the mood light to red, you know, gives you that sort of nice dull tones for your eyes to fall asleep. Red light before you go to sleep is amazing, by the way. Little note for you.
Hook it up with your Echo key, and it'll be like, do you remember this idea that you did on Echo key?
I do like the idea where you said it's got like almost like a bulletin on the mirror, like a sort of screen to it. It says like what your task you got coming up in the next few hours.
Seen them in like hotels and stuff
even
like
to
that.
say
it's
like,
crazy.
I've got a meeting today. What should I wear?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that technology in it as well? That'd be cool.
So that literally is where mirrors are going.
Yeah.
Like this is actually probably will be a real thing pretty soon.
Yeah, clothing brand ideas. Get yourself on this sort of scope of things. Mirror, sort of AI technology, all this sort of stuff.
Massive.
Do you know
Mirror
what?
Minds.
I like both ideas. I do like both ideas.
Let us know your thoughts down below.
Support for mine. I still back Echo Key. Echo Key, I think, it's easier for your everyday use.
Mirror Mind, 100%. 100%.
Let us know your thoughts. We'll get back into the episode now, but thanks for joining us on 5 Minute Millionaires.
Bye. Well, there we go. 5 Minute Millionaires. I think I would buy my product.
I 100% would buy my product as well.
Anyway, moving on. I think that is probably coming to the end of the show.
I think it is.
It is.
For everybody here at YouTube, Spotify, listening to us and watching us, once again, thank you for firstly clicking on this, being with us now for our third episode. Yeah. If you haven't seen the first two, go check them out. We talk about the initial steps before getting to this sort of time management, productivity stage of things. But if for whatever reason you want to stay tuned a little bit longer, we do have an extended episode on Patreon now, not only for last week's episode 2, but also we're just about to get into our exclusive additional content over on the Patreon, where we do another segment and talk a little bit more about our own lives and our own sort of personal habits.
We'll give you some proper behind-the-scenes content, tell you what we do, how we plan our days, how we kind of schedule all of this, and also, what's the extra segment, Ollie?
We're doing another Battle of the Hosts over on Patreon. We've got a new big punishment, which actually will feature in next week's episode. However, if you want to see the behind the scenes as to who receives the punishment early doors, go ahead and check us out on Patreon.
I mean, it's going to be worse than the egg for sure.
Long-term rewards, long-term disadvantages and far worse. Yeah. Anyway,
honestly, go check it out.
A lot more embarrassment to come.
Literally costs £4 a month, same price as a coffee, if not less. And what is that a day?
13p a day, pretty much.
Pennies, absolutely nothing.
Exactly that.
Honestly, go check it out. It's a brilliant content out there. It's great fun to film as well. We really enjoy this segment.
I mean, it's not as structured as well. We're a bit more relaxed. We talk to you guys a bit more, get more involved with the audience.
A lot more personal. And if you want to check out the names that we mentioned earlier that were bleeped out, you can go check it out on that side.
And at the same time, go and check out our socials: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat.
All that good stuff.
Everything else, just go and check it out.
It's all down below.
It's all down below, and we look forward to entertaining you much more in the future. Liking, commenting, subscribing will help us get there. The milestone is initially 100 subs on this channel, but let's smash through it. You know what's at stake. This little eyebrow is. And so let's smash through it. Let's try and get up to 500 and see what happens.
Let's do that. Yeah, 100%. Anyway, I guess that's it. Enough from the boardroom breezes over there.
Stop. I don't want that
That's
to
going to
catch.
catch.
It's not going to catch.
100%.
Right.
Six and Slad Nation. Peace out.
See you around. Doodle peep.
Cheerio.
Every day. Yeah.